Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. A lot of people have posed the question to us, our viewers. Thank you for watching, even though there's apparently a lack of BMW content on this channel. So, we've heard the call. We want to give the people what they want. So here we are. Imagine this. F80, M3, competition. That's the nice one, right? The lighter one. Yet, subtract even more weight, add more power, put it on the most balanced platform ever on a four-door car, and remove the image issue. This is what you get. Buongiorno a tutti, benvenuto, muy nuovo, Alfa Romeo, Giulia Quadrifoglio. Welcome, my friends, to my new Giulia Quadrifoglio. I'm so excited about this car because it's way better than an M3 competition. M3 competition dreams to be this. It's way lighter, it's got way more power, and as I said, it's got one of the most finely balanced platforms, known as the Giorgio platform, of course, and it is a hoot to drive. I had one of these cars in stock about 1.5 years ago. It was a Monte Carlo blue car, very cool, I loved it. I flew to Port Elizabeth to buy the car, which is something I never do because why else would anybody ever go to Port Elizabeth? Since then, I've been looking for another. They come up fairly infrequently, so to get one is not just available immediately. You can't just go and pick one off somewhere off the Auto Trader. So when this one came up, oh gosh, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I landed up approaching my dear friend Marco at Autocrat Motors, who actually procured the car from one of his clients, and I muscled and fought, but eventually we managed to get a deal done. So it's actually a reciprocal transaction because not too long ago, probably about 2 months back, Marco bought a car from us, a really beautiful 911 Turbo cab. So thank you, Marco. I really appreciate it. As you can see, this car puts a huge smile on my face. I got the car about 1 week ago and I've been driving it non-stop, obviously, including a trip out to the Plattelands this morning, a 700-kilometer round trip to go and get JJ a very exciting new car. JJ loves a Mustang, he dreams Mustang. Mustangs drive around in his head all the time, and this time it's a 5-liter GT manual, which we'll show you a little bit later. Super cool car. But me, obviously, I had to oblige and give the man a lift to, JJ, where did we go? Friedendal. Yeah, so, kills bugs fast. Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio. Yeah, that was me this morning already. We'll just carry on putting more. Now, as much as I want to share a lot about this car with you, I want to wait a little bit because I've got this little thing in my head about this car. As you can see, or if you haven't noticed already, I'm particularly fond of this model. I'm actually really in love with the Giulia QV, and I'm thinking on how to kind of keep it for a little bit longer than normal. So whether I actually keep it as a personal car, or if I just keep it in stock but don't put it on market for a while, we'll figure that out. But I want to play with it a bit. And the one thing that I really want to do is create this racing GTA or GTA M Giulia inspired livery. And our friends at the garage are going to help us out with that. We're going to be dropping the car off with them just now, and it'll take a few days probably to get it right. So yeah, the GTA and GTA M is a super special, very rare, 6 times more expensive type of car, and a numbered production car. But this one, just to give you a little hint, this one's also a numbered one. But I'll tell you all about it after the livery's done. In the meantime, come have a look at this Mustang that we just picked up in Lutzville, there by Vredendal side. So yeah, these are the Mustang 5 liters. This one is coming from the place there, and it's very, very fast. It are also very loud. You'll see later when we demonstrate for you the lekker exhaust noises that they are making. Is that fine? Dis nou 'n mooi perd. It's no secret our man JJ loves a Mustang. So he's also appropriately decorated the front end on his first drive from Lutzville back to the Mother City Car Company. One thing about this one that we haven't had before, we've had lots of Mustangs, but this one is a manual. I'm also very excited and keen to give this one a run. I actually, thanks to JJ, also can appreciate a Mustang these days, and I don't just think that they're kart surfers. But with a manual, we don't have any experience with it. So quite keen to give it a go. This one's probably not far from market. Will probably be ready in about a week or so, and you can find it on the Auto Trader. Okay, let's go and drop it off. I'm super eager to see the result of this idea come to reality. I think it's gonna look dope. And now that it's all done, I'm ready to reveal to you all my new Giulia Quadrifoglio. So I'm keen to know what you guys, my beloved audience, think of my choice of car, but also of my race-inspired livery. For me, Alfa Romeo as a brand is got one of the most rich racing histories and pedigrees ever. It's also one of the oldest car manufacturers in the world. It started in 1910. So in 2020, when this car was released, it was 110 years old already. So this one particularly commemorates that by being a 1 of 20 limited edition known as Race Edition 2. Now what that gives me is, apart from some additional carbon fiber on the outside, some black bezel headlights, but the big piece de resistance is the Sparco Racing bucket seats with a full carbon shell on the back. Ooh, so sexy. I've done the wrap as sort of a precautionary measure for protecting the front end of the car, because my intention with it is, one, to give it full beans all day, every day for the duration of my ownership, which I haven't yet determined how long that would be, but also hark back to some of the old classic races from Alfa Romeo history. And of course, the Halo Giulia, which is the crazy thing that it is, the GTA and GTA M. I've done exactly like my little model, the front end covered in white. There is PPF underneath this, so there is paint protection film. So when I am done with the car, we can take off the white wrap, take off the white stripe that runs all across the top of the car, and then it's got PPF. So that's always a nice good value add. And it's gonna need it, like I said, because I intend to drive the car hard, I intend to run it up the pass, and when you're chasing something that's got 305 size tires on the rear, it's kicking up all sorts of dirt and muck and sand blasting and etc. So this will protect it nicely. The vinyl will probably look a little bit used after a few runs, but that's okay. I kind of like the look, a real kind of race car look. That's what we're going for here. Now, no race car is complete without its main feature, which obviously has to be a powerful engine. And as much as I'm a V8 guy, this V6 with 2 turbos has some very cool background history as well. It's actually a derivative of the Ferrari F154 engine, which is the V8 twin turbo that you find in the California T, the Lusso T, the 488, and so on. That's just to name a few. But in this case, and contrary to popular belief, it's not that engine with just 2 cylinders lobbed off it, but it is the same block. So yes, there is some weight to that argument. It is a 90-degree V8, so it sits really wide out, and that allows the turbos to sit nicely in the V. That way your power delivery is instant and there's virtually no turbo lag. Very cool, very perky, super powerful motor, and in fact, pushing 375 kilowatt in this car, which weighs 1,620 kilograms at curb. This is an overpowered car. And when you drive it, you know about it real quick. This is a really cool feature here as well. So there is quite a bit of carbon fiber on the car in terms of aesthetics and sort of design cues, but there is actual purpose carbon fiber use here as well, like the bonnet, complete carbon fiber, and the roof, complete carbon fiber. In the beginning of this video, you saw the car just after I'd arrived from a 700-kilometer round trip to Lutzville or somewhere there to pick up that Mustang. And the car was splattered full of bugs, but it did an amazing job, and I reached some really amazing speeds while I was on that drive. Now, when the car exceeds a certain speed, I'm not sure exactly, this lower front splitter actually deploys down as an active aero feature to give you additional downforce and stability and high-speed driving. 250 in this car feels like 120 in anything else. Now, I did also, in true Italian fashion, have a fault pop up on my instrument cluster about this active aero, but unlike the Germans, who would announce it in a very stern front aero failure or front aero fault, this car said service the front aero. So yeah, in a very Italian nonchalant kind of way, the Alfa Giulia likes to keep things light-hearted. No need to scare you. It's just a little bit of aero, okay? Now, I want to show you so many things about this car because there's so many elements that really kind of swayed me into coming to this car again. I've had one in stock and I really enjoyed it. I was also extremely fast on Franschhoek Pass, that one breakfast run where GT3s, GT4s, 458s all kind of got left behind. Nobody could put any pressure on me. And I love that about the car. It's a bit of a sleeper, right? It's not a common car. You don't see a lot of them, which for me is a huge factor. I hate driving a car that everybody else drives. Have you seen my Mercedes-Benz? And the elements that this car, this particular one, brings to the table, which really make me excited about it, is this Race Edition 2 stuff. So you get the bigger wheels in anthracite, you get the yellow calipers, which I think pop so nicely, the quadrifoglio, which I will come back to just now, carbon mirrors, and carbon side sills, nice big wide track on the rear, and the wheel comes out so nicely. They're cambered quite a lot from factory, which is also a really cool feature. It again kind of just hints that this is not just your regular road car. This rear little boot spoiler is really cool as well, and of course in carbon fiber. Still thinking about that GTA M wing. I don't know, hey, that could be on the cards. And then this rear diffuser, which is also a proper piece of kit, and it goes all the way deep down to almost halfway down underneath the car. So it is a proper piece of aerodynamics.
Huge.
Now, the critics will say, oh, but why not carbon fiber? Have you seen how much real estate this thing is? This would be an extremely expensive piece. And the whole point of this car is that it's not Ferrari money. It's an affordable car. It's an everyday hero. It's a car that you can enjoy and not be fussy about, and yet you can still deliver incredible near supercar performance at any breakfast run or car meet. So the little racing rondel, obviously in white to match the front end and the stripe. We're still not sure what number to put on it. I'm thinking maybe 18 is a good number, since this is number 18 out of 20 Race Edition 2. But we are going to be doing a really cool event called Spring Rally in September, and you're all invited because we're going to be filming it and making a video about it. It's going to be like 50 or 70 cars. We're all going out to, I think, Aquila Game Lodge, and it's a huge drive for a huge cause, the Children's Red Cross Hospital. So there, with that event, we'll get a number anyway. So I think I'll keep it blank for now. I even like it just like that. Now, before we move in onto the interior of the car, which I also really like, and again, those Sparko seats and the general seating position, everything is really cool. I want to tell you a story about the quadrifoglio and how it came about and its significance for Alfa Romeo since its very early days in racing. I'm talking back in the 20s. There was a racing driver who was a perennial second place finisher. His name was Ugo Sivocci. Now, Ugo would never win a race. Alfa Romeo was one of the most competitive cars back then, and races like the Targa Florio, which were super dangerous and attracted massive crowds and interest. Ugo was a talented racer, but he didn't know what to do. He thought that maybe he was cursed. Italians are a superstitious bunch. So one day, Ugo decided to call an artist along to the next race and ask him to draw a lucky four-leaf clover on the side of his Alfa Romeo. It was drawn on the car in a white square, and that day, Ugo had victory. He won the race, and from that day on, every car he raced, he wanted to have the clover leaf, the quadrifoglio, which translates as four-leaf clover, on the car that he drove. On the 8th of September 1923, Ugo was testing the latest prototype race car at Autodromo di Monza. That day, his artist was off sick, and he never got an opportunity to draw the emblem on the side of the car. That was the fateful day of his death. After Ugo's death, the emblem of the quadrifoglio, which was previously set in a white square, was changed to a triangle because Ugo was no longer there and it left only the 3 other Alfa Romeo Racing Program members in it. Today, the quadrifoglio adorns the side of the high-performance models of Alfa Romeo and the racing program, and that is, of course, to bring its owners and its drivers the luck. Right, my favorite part of the Giulia quadrifoglio is the driving part. Obligatory Italian driving gloves, just like Ugo Sivocci and his friends. One other significant name that came from Alfa Romeo, who was once a racing driver for the team and then headed up Alfa Romeo's entire racing program, is actually none other than Enzo Ferrari himself. And before he went off and started Scuderia Ferrari was actually the racing team for Alfa Romeo, headed by Enzo. Cape Town's giving us some reasonably good weather, which is nice because even though I've had some experience in the Giulia, I don't quite want to go out in the rain in this. This is a real squirrely whirly car, and for those that have watched the channel for a few videos at least, you'll probably have seen that I like a car that's on the edge, a bit of a menace, a car that, if mistreated, will kill you. This is definitely one of those cars. So now we're in race mode. Let's give it a whirl. Woohoo! Immediately, just breaks loose. Immediately. And then it just slithers down the road. The trick is to just trust the chassis, trust the platform. This Giorgio platform is so well balanced. And it's actually also in the Stelvio, which is quite cool. It's obviously an SUV, it's a bit heavier, but even with the Stelvio, it's a really dynamic little SUV. But in this, lightweight, low down on the ground, you just point and just give a little bit of correction on the steering just to make sure that it's going straight. Because if you just plant it, then it will turn 180 degrees. Now, hopefully you're not doing any real speed at that point. I prefer driving in race mode all the time because that way I feel like I'm getting the real car. I'm getting the pure, like uninhibited version of the Giulia quadrifoglio, but it obviously, there's a little moment here and there fairly often. And again, that's fun. I gloat and give this car so much praise, and we're highlighting it now in this video because I want to share this with people in South Africa, which I believe are just so fixated on M3s, C63s, all of that stuff, and they still have this stigma in their head about an Alfa Romeo reputation from, I don't know, 30 years ago. Yeah, granted, they were shit. But things have changed. Companies evolve. This is a 115-year-old company. It's made some shit cars in its time. But this particular thing, oh gosh, it deserves every compliment and every accolade that it's ever received, and it's received numerous awards. And just to also put a little sort of nail into the coffin of the German car lovers. The biggest market in Europe for the Alfa Giulia Quadrifoglio is Germany. They sell the most of these things there. And that's a big thing, because Germans buying cars from Italy, not their own backyard, to take onto the Nürburgring and kick ass there. That is a testament to this car. Right, coming up to Duval Drive. Let's go. Whoop! Let's see, there's no traffic around the corner. No, it's clear. Oh, it's big speeds already. Bella macchina! What a machine! Oh, I love this car. I'm obsessed with it. That was also a great practice run for the event in October, because apparently that's gonna be the road that it's gonna be hosted on. So the time trial event, or hill climb if you want, woo, is on the road running from the city. And I have entered, or at least submitted my entry with this very car, because I'm pretty fast on Duval and I'm very fast in a Giulia QV.